Sometimes the most exhausting battles are the ones nobody else can see. It isn't about a single event that broke you, but a series of storms you had to weather, often alone. It's a weight from a past that refuses to stay in the past, showing up in the quiet moments, in your relationships, and in the way you see yourself. This is often the reality for those living with complex PTSD, or C-PTSD. It's different from traditional PTSD because it stems from prolonged, repeated trauma, especially during childhood. It rewires how you see the world and yourself. Today, we're going to gently pull back the curtain on 10 common signs of this experience. Before we begin, please remember, this video is for educational purposes and to create a sense of understanding. It is not a substitute for a professional diagnosis from a qualified mental health professional. This is a space for learning and validation. Before we start this video, a huge thank you to Brilliant for sponsoring this video. If you're looking to become a better thinker and problem solver, Brilliant is the most effective way I've found to learn. Their lessons are visual and interactive. So instead of just watching someone explain a topic, you get hands-on with puzzles and math, science, and even AI. This method is proven to be way more effective because you're actively building your intuition, not just memorizing facts. Whether I'm on my computer or phone, I can jump into a quick lesson and feel like I'm genuinely leveling up my skills. So, to get started and learn for free, head to brilliant.org/inspireandthrive, scan the QR code on the screen, or click the link in the description. You'll also get 20% off an annual premium subscription for unlimited access to all their amazing courses. Now let's get back to our video. Number 1, emotional flashbacks. When people think of flashbacks, they often imagine a movie-like replay of a traumatic event. With CPTSD, flashbacks are frequently emotional, not visual. An emotional flashback is when you're suddenly pulled into a strong emotional state from the past. One moment you're fine, and the next, you're drowning in a feeling of intense fear, shame, loneliness, or despair, with no obvious reason in the present. Someone's tone of voice, a particular smell, or even a certain time of day can trigger it. It feels as if the terrible emotions from your past have been time-ported into your present body. During these moments, the logical part of your brain takes a back seat, and the survival part takes over. You might feel like a small, helpless child again, facing an overwhelming threat. It's confusing because the threat isn't here anymore, but every cell in your body is screaming that it is. You are not overreacting to the present. Your body is accurately re-experiencing the past. Number 2, difficulty with emotional regulation. Do your emotions feel like a chaotic roller coaster you can't get off? One minute you might feel okay, then you're suddenly filled with rage, then plunged into deep sadness, and then you feel completely numb, all within a short period. This isn't a character flaw. It's a direct result of growing up in an environment where you weren't taught how to manage your feelings in a healthy way. When a child's environment is consistently chaotic or frightening, they don't learn how to self-soothe or understand their emotions. Instead, emotions become terrifying things to be either suppressed or exploded. As an adult, this can look like having a very short fuse, crying uncontrollably over small things, or shutting down and feeling nothing at all. You might try to control these feelings with unhealthy coping mechanisms because nobody ever gave you the instruction manual for your own heart. Your emotions aren't the problem. The lack of a safe harbor to learn how to feel them was. Number 3, a persistently negative self-view. At the very core of CPTSD is often a deep, unshakable feeling of being worthless, broken, or fundamentally flawed. It's a constant companion, whispering that you're not good enough, that you're unlovable, or that everything is your fault. This happens because when trauma is ongoing, especially in childhood, a child's brain can't make sense of it. It's easier for a child to believe, I am bad, than to accept the terrifying reality that my caregivers are unsafe. This becomes a core belief that you carry into adulthood. You might constantly apologize, feel a toxic sense of guilt for things that aren't your fault, or feel a deep, penetrating shame about who you are. This shame makes you want to hide from the world, convinced that if people saw the real you, they would reject you. The shame you carry was never yours to begin with. It was handed to you, and you were too small to refuse it. Number 4, difficulties in relationships. Relationships can feel like a minefield. You might desperately crave connection and intimacy, but at the same time, be terrified of it. This can lead to a painful push and pull dynamic. On one hand, you might be afraid of being abandoned, leading you to become overly attached or clingy. On the other hand, you might be terrified of being controlled or hurt, causing you to push people away or avoid intimacy altogether. Trust is an enormous challenge. You may find yourself trusting untrustworthy people because that pattern feels familiar, while pushing away safe, kind people because their stability feels foreign and unsettling. Friendships and romantic partnerships are often confusing. You might struggle with boundaries, either having none at all or having rigid walls that let no one in. You're not trying to be difficult. You are simply trying to navigate the present with a map drawn from a painful past. You're not afraid of love itself. You're afraid of history repeating itself. Number 5, feeling detached and zoned out. Dissociation. Have you ever felt like you're watching your life from outside your own body, as if it's a movie? Or maybe the world around you suddenly feels unreal, foggy, or distant. This is called dissociation. Dissociation isn't something you do on purpose. It's an automatic survival mechanism. When reality becomes too painful or overwhelming, your brain hits an emergency eject button to protect you from the full force of the experience. It's the mind's way of creating distance when you can't physically escape. In daily life, this can manifest as memory gaps, feeling spacey or zoned out, or a sense of disconnection from your own body and emotions. It might feel like you're on autopilot. While it was a brilliant strategy for survival in the past, it can make it hard to feel fully present and alive in the now. Your mind didn't leave you. It was trying to protect you by creating a safe distance from the pain. Number 6, being constantly on alert. Hypervigilance. Hypervigilance is like having your body's internal alarm system stuck in the on position. You're constantly scanning your environment for threats, reading into people's facial expressions and tones of voice, always waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's physically and mentally exhausting. It can be hard to relax. Sleep might be difficult, and you might be easily startled by loud noises or sudden movements. This isn't a choice. It's a nervous system that learned that danger could appear at any moment, without warning. Your body is still living in that reality. Even if your present situation is safe, people might call you jumpy or tell you to just relax. But they don't understand that your body is hardwired for survival based on past experiences. You're not being paranoid. Your nervous system is simply remembering what it had to do to keep you alive. Number 7, a loss of meaning and hope. When you've experienced prolonged trauma, it can shatter your belief system. The world no longer feels like a safe or just place. This can lead to a deep sense of hopelessness and cynicism. You might lose faith in humanity, in a higher power, or in yourself. It can feel like nothing matters, and there's no point in trying. This isn't pessimism. It's a logical conclusion drawn from your life experiences. When you've been consistently let down or harmed, it's natural to stop believing in good things. This can lead to a feeling of being empty or disconnected from life's purpose. Joy can feel distant and inaccessible. You're not broken. Your hope has been injured. It is incredibly difficult to believe in a kind world when your own world was not kind to you. Number 8, unexplained physical symptoms. The body remembers what the mind tries to forget. CPTSD often manifests in the body through a host of chronic physical issues that doctors may struggle to explain. This can include chronic pain like fibromyalgia, persistent fatigue, digestive problems like irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, frequent headaches or migraines, and a weakened immune system. This happens because the constant state of high alert and stress, hypervigilance, floods your body with stress hormones like cortisol, leading to inflammation and system-wide exhaustion. The emotional pain becomes so overwhelming that it begins to speak through the body. It's not all in your head. It's a very real, physical response to an ongoing state of internal crisis. Your body is keeping a score it was never asked to keep. Number 9, perfectionism or people-pleasing. For many with C-PTSD, perfectionism isn't about ambition, it's about survival. You might have learned early on that if you were perfect, if you got perfect grades, were perfectly quiet or perfectly helpful, you might be able to avoid criticism, anger, or harm. It became a shield. Similarly, people-pleasing is a strategy to feel safe. The internal logic is, if I make everyone around me happy, if I meet all their needs and never say no, then they won't hurt me or abandon me. You become a chameleon, changing yourself to fit what you think others want you to be. This is an exhausting way to live. You're constantly monitoring others' moods and sacrificing your own needs. It's not a personality flaw. Perfectionism isn't truly about being perfect. It's about trying to be safe enough. Number 10, a harsh inner critic. Finally, one of the most painful signs is the presence of a relentless, harsh inner critic. This is more than just low self-esteem. It's a voice in your head that constantly bullies, belittles, and judges you for every perceived mistake. This inner critic is often the internalized voice of a critical parent, abuser, or bully from your past. You essentially took their voice and made it your own, subconsciously believing that if you could criticize yourself first, you could anticipate and prevent criticism from others. This voice attacks you for things you can't control, blames you for the trauma you endured, and tells you that you're failing. It's a constant source of internal torment. Learning to recognize this voice is the first step toward understanding a crucial truth. That critical voice isn't your own. It's a recording of someone else's pain that you were forced to listen to. Seeing these signs in yourself can be overwhelming, but I want you to hear this. These are not signs that you are broken. They are signs that you survived. They are the strategies your mind and body developed to get you through unbearable circumstances. They are scar, not character defects. Understanding is the first step toward healing. Recognizing why you feel and act the way you do can lift a tremendous burden of self-blame. The journey of healing is not about erasing the past, but about learning to live in the present without the past controlling you. It's about slowly, gently, teaching your nervous system that you are safe now. If this video helped you feel seen or understood, even just a little, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel for more content that supports your journey. And now, for everyone watching, I'd love to know which of these points resonated with you the most. Sharing your experience in the comments can be incredibly validating, not just for you, but for others who are reading and feeling the exact same way. You are not alone in this. Thank you for being here today.